virtual condo tour. I apologize, as I mentioned, for the issues that we had, technical issues, but we are on track now, and this is going to be a great tour. I am so excited by what I'm going to be able to share with you today. So it was interesting. There I am, and I am not going to be reading PowerPoint right now. Thank you. Not right now. Thank you. I really wanted to start doing these condo tours as a way of going around and, first of all, increasing my market knowledge, and secondarily working with people to bring down some of their fear barriers to condo. They're living, there's a lot of misconceptions, and so we literally would be going around, and some of the people on our call today have also gone on these where we do them physically. I don't see that coming back anytime soon, to be honest, but the best part is that it forces me to spend time every week in the condo market of a different community. So I'm looking at what's available, I'm watching the stats, and I'm even comparing what sold from the last time. So it's really benefited me in terms of my market knowledge, and then also really helped my clients because I'm able to sometimes see really amazing opportunities, things that have been on the market for a long time. And also sometimes there's just a property that I know is just perfect for a client and what they're looking for, and I'm able to recommend it to them. So I would say this is a very successful service, both from the side of the consumer who needs to build an understanding of what's available, and also for myself as a realtor. So let's get started. One of the things we always do is we want to go through the MLS sheet, but because we started a bit late, I just want to remind you of the basics, okay? Because I want to make sure we have time to actually see the properties. So we're going to see a couple of examples where there's been a price change recently. So one of the things I always do is I look into the property history to see how many times has it been listed and what are we doing in terms of the prices. So one of the properties just dropped 25,000, another one dropped 30,000. So we take this price as kind of a suggested, it's like manufacturer's suggested retail price. It's not necessarily what you're going to pay. Sometimes it ends up being into a bidding war and we end up having to pay over list price. Sometimes it is a point to negotiate. I'm going to tell you though that the vast majority of condos sell within 97 to 100% of asking. There isn't that much wiggle room because there's really not that much available in terms of stock. So one of the properties we're looking at today has super low property tax. I'm not sure how they manage that, but it's like $1,600 a year. So compared to what you pay for a property, detached property, that's a very big difference, and part of the thing that you can factor into your long-term savings of moving into a condo. Now, a lot of people feel like that savings is offset by the maintenance fees they have to pay, and I kind of get that. But the truth is you're paying maintenance fees in the home you're in right now. It's just not on such a regular schedule. We end up every once in a while being hit with a big ticket item like a new roof or new windows or a new furnace, and then we're into thousands of dollars, but we just don't account for it in our monthly budget. And obviously when you've got a high-rise building with hundreds of people living there, you don't wait for something to break. So everybody pays a little bit into kind of a slush fund, a reserve fund, and all of those things get fixed on a schedule before they break. Plus everybody who is cleaning it, gardening, shoveling the snow, cutting the grass, all of that, everybody gets paid. And then the final factor to consider in terms of wrapping your head around the idea of paying a maintenance fee is that some of these units that we're going to be looking at today, it's all of the utilities included. So if you put all of your utilities, water, sewer, hydro, gas, hot water tank, whatever, you put those all in, you are paying towards all of these things already. It just doesn't feel that way because it's become so regular. Plus, there's a lot of lifestyle amenities that are really a benefit. And of course, you don't expect to walk into Good Life Fitness and just be able to work out for free. They get, those are all charges that we readily pay. So when you add all of this into it, it's a little easier to swallow. I get it, still not completely. But then on the other hand, you don't have to do anything except for take care of your own unit. To me, that's a huge thing. Okay, so we also want to think about how big of a unit you need in terms of both the number of bedrooms, the number of washrooms. We have some other features that are really like a bonus. It's like the cherry on top of the sundae. Things like a storage locker where you can put your surplus items. These are about the size of an elevator. Just imagine an elevator, and great place for luggage and snow tires and all that. Then we also want to think of how many parking spots you need. If you are a 2-car family, well then obviously we prefer to find you a unit that has 2 parking spots. Sometimes these are 2 parking spots on totally different parking levels. Sometimes they are side by side. Sometimes they are what we call tandem, where we've got a narrow, like single width, but double deep. And then what happens if you have a condo that checks all the boxes for you, you love it, but it only comes with 1 parking spot? There is definitely the option to rent privately from somebody who has an extra spot. Maybe it's $50 or $100 a month, I don't know, depends. And then sometimes even more, a tiny fractional opportunity exists to purchase a second parking spot directly from the builder if the building is relatively new. So sometimes we actually see those for sale. We see parking spots for sale on the MLS, 12,000, 15,000 in York region, not unusual. It's interesting because for new construction, an extra parking spot is a very expensive add-on feature relative to the price of the unit. So I purchased an investment condo, and it was everything included, was $350, and an extra parking spot $350,000, and an extra parking spot was $40,000. So it bumped the cost of my investment property up to almost $400,000 just to have that second parking spot. So you can see why so many of the new condos only come with 1 spot. So this is another feature. We're going to be looking at condos that are at a minimum of 900 or so square feet, which I know if you're sitting in a 2,200 square foot 4-bedroom house, you're thinking, wow, like that's tiny, but it's not. It's, first of all, they don't have the wasted space of hallways usually. Every inch is usable, especially in the new construction. And there are condos that are as big as your house or bigger, but they're also the same price as your house. So most people I'm working with, they want to downsize in order to realize a nest egg of $200,000 to $300,000 difference between what they sell and what they buy. So if you just want to do a lateral swap, 1.2 million for 1.2 million, then, there's definitely that option. But you're going to be surprised. We have a very large condo to show you today. And everything we're looking at is under $900,000. Again, because that's what most people are asking me for. If you want to go up to $2.5 million, we can find you something just very, very special. Okay, so the size is always a range. The unit size is always a range for a couple of different reasons, but one of the most important reasons is that it's just a restriction of the form that we fill in when we have a new condo for sale. It's like a drop-down menu, and we can choose between like 900 and 999, 1,000 to 1199, and so it's not very precise, and I have to usually do a bit of digging to find out exactly how big the unit is, unless, like we have here, the agent has included it. So that's very important to feature when trying to make sure that when we're doing a price analysis, that we have an idea, a pretty close idea of the dollars per square foot, right? So that's an important measure of value. And most of the condos we are looking at are ranging between $400 a square foot and let's say about $700 a square foot, which by comparison to downtown prices are like the bargain of the century. And the same thing with the maintenance fees. They're partly determined by the square footage of the unit. So again, we're looking at about 55 cents a square foot, all the way up to about 80 cents a square foot for maintenance. And again, by downtown, like it's not uncommon to see $1 a square foot for maintenance. So we actually have it pretty good here. And plus, when you purchase into the condo market in York Region, anything north of Steeles, you only pay the one land transfer tax, where down in the city, they have a municipal land transfer tax and the provincial land tax. So it's essentially double. Okay, so all these little tricks and that. So figure out if you're if you're all right with being up high, or if you prefer to be like under 5 stories, or even today we're going to always try to include a ground floor unit. There's advantages and disadvantages. When you're up tall, you can get these beautiful skyline pictures. If you don't have a problem with height, you're not going to have any traffic noise. Some of the very tall buildings, it can get quite windy up there though. So I don't know how much time you're going to be actually spending out on your balcony on the 42nd floor with your newspaper blowing in the wind, but it's just personal preference. The other thing that we always want to make sure you know is that we're only showing you a handful of pictures for each of these condos, but most of the time there's a full gallery. And if you were to ask us to send you the link for the listing, you could open it up. And in this case, you can see there are 40 pictures. So we're just showing you a few. We're trying to choose the ones that are most characteristic of that unit. And also in that 40 would be some of the pictures of the interior of the building. So you get an idea of the gym or the pool, if there is one, and you know, all that kind of stuff. Okay, so one of the key factors in both the appeal and the value of a unit is what side of the building it's on. We're going to be looking at one up, it's the Renaissance on Yonge Street north of Major Mackenzie. And on one side of the building, you have so much noise from Yonge Street. On the other side of the building, you're looking over trees and rooftops. It's a much it can be very significant what side of the building you're on. And we can choose for that. We can select units that are only on the west side of the building. Okay, so let's move. Oh, so hold on, did I? Sorry, it's a bit blurry. But I wanted you to see how much the prices are jumping in condos. The sweet spot being the 2-bedroom condo. 3 bedrooms are very desirable, but they're very hard to find. So you can see that there's quite a jump in the price. The ideal would be 2+ den for most couples, right? Like that den can be an extra work from home space, or a computer room, or a second TV room, or a guest room, or a dining room. It's just a nice all-purpose room. But you can see that condos are appreciating year over year by more than 10%. You'll do better on your condo than you will by keeping your money in the bank. And so you can see these are the Richmond Hill home prices. I wanted to show you this graph. Again, it's a little blurry, but what it tells you is the impact that we've seen as soon as we shut down in COVID. What's very, very interesting is we have this sudden sharp decline over the last couple of months. Oh, these are condos, looking at the prices. And then the condos come on back up again, and we're not very far from where we left off. So we're actually much higher right now than we were even in December. So condo prices are on the move, and they're only going up. They're not coming back down again, Lord willing, but they are only on the way back up. So they're an excellent investment. Where we look at Richmond Hill home prices, look at that. It's unbelievable. We've had a couple of really big sales in Richmond Hill, like in the $6, $8, $10 million mark. The luxury market has woken back up again. So it's a little bit skewed, but I just want to show you, we are like really on fire. And the most important thing we don't see in these statistics is the days on market has dropped from this time last year. It was an average of about 25 days on market, meaning that if you sold your house today, listed your house today, in approximately 4 weeks, you'd be sold and done. Now it's down to 2 weeks. It's 15 days average days on market, because there's not enough homes for sale. People who want to move up, they are sick of, wherever they are. They need more space. They want a backyard for the kids. They are anxious, and buyers have come back to the market much more quickly than sellers. So sellers, we need you. Okay, so this is where we're going. We're going all around Richmond Hill. You can see that most of the development is on Yonge Street, and that's the way it's going to continue. More condo development happen in the hill, plan for the future. The other little pocket is along Highway 7, and that's another area that has been designated as high density infill. So I think you'll notice they are pushing out all the small light industrial stuff down there, just south of the 407 and Highway 7. They're pushing all that out, and that's all going to be condos. So let's look at the first one. Okay, this is our example of brand new construction. This is a new building just up at Yonge and Gamble. It's a low-rise building. And the reason I wanted to include this in our tour today is that it's so interesting. There are like 5 or 6 condos for sale in this building. Why? Because so many people purchased them as an investment, and 3, 4, 5 years ago. And now the building is finished and they're looking to flip their unit to make a profit. So this is a representative sample of what's available in this building. There are larger units, there are smaller units, but there's a ton for sale in this building. I think it's called the Bristol. So you can see that for now, the condos are being restricted in height. Trust me, this was not their developer's choice. This was not their preference. They would have loved to have gone taller, but they didn't. And what we see is a really, really typical new construction layout with a kitchen that has that peninsula that doubles as a breakfast bar. We've got tall ceilings, big windows, laminate, stainless steel, white kitchens. It's the whole Monty, all right? And like, as is typical, this is 1 parking, 1 storage locker. So the storage locker is like about a $12,000 purchase directly from the builder, which I know sounds incredible, but one of the things is that it is that extra storage. And then this is one of the smallest units. I chose this also to show you the low maintenance. We do see a divergence in the maintenance between brand new buildings and older buildings. Older buildings typically being higher. There's 2 main reasons for that. Number 1 is this is $568 a month in maintenance. It doesn't include hardly any of your utilities. It has not, also as a condominium corporation, they haven't had to do any big costly repairs that's ended up filtering its way back into their operating budget. Other thing is, with brand new condos, they run kind of a speculative budget for a year. And so there may be an adjustment once they've actually been operating for 2 years or so, just to figure out what it actually costs to run the building. And sometimes we do see a bump up of the maintenance fees in that first year to 18 months. But this is also new construction that is typical in the package of amenities that it offers. This is exactly what new buyers are looking for. And so as somebody who might be a downsizer, you're also kind of competing for first-time buyers or move-up buyers. And they want the full Monty of lifestyle amenities like the concierge and the exercise room. The one thing that this building doesn't have is a pool. And I guess, most people don't actually use the pool. They say they will, but they don't. So that's fine. That's another way that they're keeping the maintenance fees down, is by having everything that people want, but not going overboard. There are places that have like movie theaters, pet spas, like, the whole thing. The other thing this doesn't have is they don't have any guest suites. That's an expensive amenity. So anyways, I'll show you the interior pictures. So like I said, completely standard layout. There is nothing remarkable or unusual about this. When we look at the kitchen picture, you can see that we have this little alcove that's got a washroom and it's got one of the bedrooms. The other bedroom is on the other side of the kitchen. So it's on the left side of the kitchen. We can't see it, it's out of frame. So that's what we call a split layout, where we have this common, like, open space living area, living room, kitchen, dining area. And then we have a bedroom on one side and a bedroom on the other. The master bedroom is going to have an ensuite and it's going to have a walk-in closet 99.99% of the time. That's what new construction includes. You notice the smooth ceilings, they're tall ceilings, but it's pretty tiny. In order to keep that master bedroom, which is the bottom left picture, big, it's like you have to rob Peter to pay Paul. So the actual living area is not that huge, especially in this one. And what you find is that you go up in price, and that center room with the TV just gets a bit wider and a bit wider and a bit wider. Like, that's what you're paying for. And in order to get, say, another 200 square feet so that you could have a formal dining room, you've got to go up into that nice next price point. Okay, so this is what new construction looks like. It's what people are asking for and what the market is producing over and over and over again. There's very little variation on this theme. Okay, so it's a little cookie cutter for my likings. And what we want to make sure is that we're in a building where we like the general aesthetic, we like the location, we like the amenities, and like you see here with this balcony, if you're a balcony person, you want to make sure that that's looking onto something that you would enjoy seeing every day. Okay, next. Okay, so this is one of my favorite buildings in Richmond Hill, because it's just so beautifully built. It's a Tridal building. It's the Renaissance. It's what they call a boutique building. It's a way of, again, it's low rise. I think there's only 6 stories, 7 stories maybe. But it's everything inside, the hallways, the molding around the wallpaper, everything is so beautifully originally constructed, and now they've just done a big rehaul of all of that. I don't know why, but I guess the building is a little older than I think it is. But the common areas, look at this, this doorway. It looks like a fancy hotel, and they've just redone this. This is all brand new. The building is only, like, I guess, what, 8 years old, but apparently when you live at the Renaissance, you get a new hallways and doors and everything every 8 years. So this has a very oldie world charm to it. The main foyer is 2 stories high. It's all wood paneling. It looks like somebody's exquisite library. There's a concierge. It's very, like, old money feeling, although it's relatively new. And there is this kind of lifestyle about being right on Yonge Street, although Yonge Street right now is no great shakes with all the construction, but it's the kind of place where you could just walk down and have dinner someplace and, maybe catch a concert over the mill pond. Like, it really is a lifestyle type of choice. And this has 2 bedrooms, which is like a really good layout, and 2 parking and a storage unit. So let's have a look at it. So all of this is brand new. I looked at the previous listing of this property and it didn't look anything like this. It was much more builder's original, but you see the tall ceilings with the molding, the kitchen's been redone, the bathrooms have been redone. And the thing that I like about this unit is that it backs to it's to the east, it faces east. So you get a really nice view. It's nice and quiet. It'll be bright in the morning. So when you're dealing with a renovated property, you have to basically like what they've done. Like, I don't know, do you like that bathroom? It's not my idea of fun, but I mean, I like the walk-in shower and all that, but I just don't know. I don't know if I like this aesthetic. And if you're paying premium price for a property that has been renovated, would you feel like you wanted to start pulling things out and changing them? I don't know. Love the kitchen, just that's the issue. When you have a renovated project, you are paying top dollar and you may not like it. So that's a bit of an issue. The decision becomes, would you rather have something that was more original and do the work yourself? Or would you rather wait to find something that really tickled your fancy that has fully renovated? So I love this building. Oops, sorry. Love this building and it's got a lot to offer. That's my sweetheart deal. Now, this is the complete bargain of the century. $395. It's a low-rise older building on Major Mackenzie. If you were really conscious of a budget that you really had to keep within a price point, this is the one that has the super low property taxes, $1,600 a year, under $400,000. It's got a reasonably high maintenance, but it's all inclusive. And I notice here that it says it's got baseboard or electric heat. Well, who cares? You don't pay for your electric anyway, but it does kind of go to the overall cost of the building. And it's got very basic amenities. I can't imagine they're fancy based on the age of the building, but I think this is a terrific opportunity for someone who, as I said, is very budget conscious, but it's also an amazing investment property. This property, a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom. The 1 bathroom is a bit of an issue, to be honest, but it's a minimum of like $1,800 to $2,000 a month. Like seriously, it will. And then plus it's going up. Like we already talked about, the money that you invest in it is just your down payment. Your tenants are paying your mortgage, right? So hopefully you could make it cash flow positive. Like it's not easy in the first couple of years, but the long term of holding this, fantastic. So it was last sold in 2010 for $186,000. So in 10 years, it has more than doubled in price. We should probably expect the same as long as it's well maintained and all that. I know that's a bit of a big if, but they just recently lowered the price. It was over 400 and now it's come down under 400. The other thing I wanted to show you, this is so funny. All of this furniture is computer generated images. It's all virtual staging. I think that's kind of funny. So the property itself is actually vacant and they just paid they paid a company to do virtual staging on this. So wait till you see the next picture. I think it's a little more evident. Yeah, so none of the furniture is real furniture, but it gives you just an idea of the size of the rooms. It's nicely maintained. It's a basic low-rise older building, and it's an amazing value opportunity for somebody for whom that was their highest priority. Oh, just did it again, sorry. Okay, next. Okay, I love this building. I had a total change of heart about the Harding. These are all the Dynasty buildings. There's 3 of them, 20, 30, and 40 Harding Boulevard. I stopped showing them because a lot of them, anything over I think the fourth floor doesn't have a balcony. And personally, I couldn't imagine living without a balcony. So I just presumed all my clients would feel the same. But what I realized, there's two kind of saving graces. Number one, if you have one of the upper units that doesn't have a balcony, you have extra floor space. You have a solarium, and that solarium is all usable space, unlike a balcony, right? So that's a big advantage. The other thing is, I was taking clients on a tour, and there's this common recreation center that all three buildings share. And I found out that they had a recreation coordinator there. While we were touring the building, there was a Zumba class going on in one of the side rooms. There's like a whole schedule of recreation and fitness classes. I thought, wow, this is fantastic. Indoor pool. Like, I really thought if you were having the grandkids come and visit, spend any time, or, you know, even for yourself, it would be so much fun to make use of those amenities and all of the facilities. And you'll notice that everything's included except for hydro. So let's look at this unit. Do you notice this is not a split layout, is it? This is not where we have living room in the middle, bedroom, bedroom. What do we have here? Well, first of all, it's huge. It's 1,300 square feet, bigger than the townhouse I'm sitting in right now. And we have some of that wasted space that I mentioned to you. Like, it was not the priority now, then, as it is now, to make sure that every square inch of these places could be utilized. So we have all these little storage nooks and crannies. We have an actual laundry room and storage room. Most of the new construction, you get a laundry closet where you open up the doors and you've got a stacking washer and dryer. Oh no, not here, my friend. It's a full-on room that you can walk into. And a lot of my condo clients end up putting like a chest freezer or something in there, or a pantry storage. Tons of in-suite storage. We also have this long hallway. So when you actually walk in, you're met by a proper receiving foyer right there. It feels like a house. It feels like a bungalow. So I call this the bungalow layout. A little bit of a variation because it's got this angle to the one bedroom corner there. And if you can read the floor plan here with me, to get to your ensuite that is in your master bedroom, which is a huge ensuite, you actually walk through this little closet room. So you walk through your walk-in closet and you get into the bathroom, which feels a little bit odd, but I've seen it done so beautifully. So you can see this is huge, this unit, and it needs a lot of work. So I think it does. You know, it's been partly renovated, but the really expensive things, I think, oops, so sorry. Sorry. Like, for example, that bathtub shower combination, that's original to the building. That's like a 35-year-old bathtub. So they did a nice new cabinet, but they didn't do anything with the shower, I don't think. Or I think those little 6x6 tiles that are on the kind of backsplash of the bathtub there, those are original, and they added a jazzy little stripe to it. But it's some renovated, but I think it still needs some work. But it's 1,300 square feet. So once you're done, even if it costs you, let's just say $100,000 to renovate this, you are still way ahead of the game, my friends. You will be here, you'll be happy. It is a huge unit with this gorgeous panoramic view out of the solarium with a ton of storage. I think for some of my clients, it's not much of a downsize. This is as big as a house for sure. And it especially feels that way when you see it. Now, this is the other building in the complex. You know, there's three of them. This is 20 Harding. And I asked Melissa to include this front picture because one of the things they did at 20 that they did not do at either 30 or 40 was they did a complete renovation of the common areas, which I think is super smart because it helps to keep the properties competitive with newer construction. So it's the same thing with the condos that I love on BAFE. There is 40, 50, and 70 BAFE. 40 and 70, they still have a very dated front hall lobby, like very whatever, tired. And in uh, the other condo, they have done a full renovation of the interior space. Let's just look at this. See this beautiful new entranceway, covered portico, and you can see we've got some little dangly pendant lights. Okay, let's look at this floor plan, because this is super cool. We've got 2 balconies. Let's just look at the top, plus the solarium. That dot in the middle indicates a pillar, a support pillar. This is an amazing room to have, as I've seen it as like a formal setup as a dining room. Really super nice. Then we've got these big good sized bedrooms, but you notice we've got the hallway, we've got the foyer, we've got the laundry room that actually has storage, and then we have this long narrow living room dining room combination. So this is a really good workable floor plan for people who like kind of discrete zones. A lot of my clients don't really want open concept so much. This is more of a balance between open concept plus closed rooms. So when you walk in, you're actually met by a foyer where you could put a little table and a mirror, and it's a proper kind of landing strip, where the other places, the new construction, like you're stepping literally right into your kitchen, it feels. Okay, so let's look at this. First of all, this top picture on the left is the foyer. So you can see they're making it look like a boutique hotel. They're making it look like a downtown swag posh place, which I think is really nice. Now, here is the rest of the unit. This again is renovated. This is the after. The one we just saw before is the before. But again, we are inheriting somebody else's design choices. I don't know that I could live with that backsplash, for example, but the cabinetry is really great. They've opened up the kitchen. They've made it much more, a better flow of traffic. We've got a beautiful new washroom with that stand, that big shower. Everything is really super nice about this unit. So maybe what you want to do, let's go back to the previous one. Let's go look at the previous one and do your own renovation. First of all, you will make the profit, both in terms of the immediate benefit to the list price. Like if you were to buy it, renovate it, and immediately relist it, you would make money. But also you're making it the way you like, and it's going to be something that it continues to appreciate and value as an asset. So these people here did not take my decluttering workshop. I'm almost 100% sure. Really, we don't need Rice Krispies on the kitchen counter when you're trying to sell your house. And I'm going to tell you, if this was my listing, there's no way I would let it come to market looking like this. Do you know why? Not because I'm so judgy. That's not the point. The point is this is going to take a really long time to sell, because people just can't see past the clutter. If I was there on photography day, I'd be making sure there was no rolls of toilet paper on display. You can make for darn sure. Okay, so this requires some imagination and some money, but at the end of the day, you would have a penthouse suite overlooking the skyline of Richmond Hill in a wonderful building, and you would have made some money, 100%. Okay, so sorry, going forward into, there's the renovated building we just saw, renovated building, renovated suite. Okay, so it's like the before and the after. And now, this is something that I have earmarked because it's another very popular building, the 33 Waldwick. And what's so interesting is that there is a lot of sales coming up. I'm sorry to say, but they are estate sales. So people have been living here for a really long time. There's very low turnover. And as macabre as it sounds, like we basically have to wait for somebody to die to get a unit in there. And what's happening is that investors and speculators are getting a hold of these units. They're fancying them up. and then flipping them for a profit. So at one point last year, there was probably like eight of these for sale. And when I would go to look for the lockbox on the condo tour, there would be like literally a row of lock boxes. So many people, after the crash of 2017, they picked them up for like under 500,000. And then they put some money into them, and then they were listing them for big money, like into the 700s and 800,000. So I've been in this building and I've seen some of the ones that are renovated, and they're truly remarkable, but it's still a 40-year-old building, and the interior space of the common areas, like the lobby and the hallways, is still pretty tired. And that's, I heard, because they had some issues with the underground parking, and they did a big restoration of the concrete and the paving. And so they've spent a lot of money on kind of the things you don't see in the corporation. But this is a rare 3-bedroom. And we actually have a couple of 3-bedrooms on our tour today, but I wanted to show you this because it is also an estate sale, and they've just lowered the price. So let's have a look at this. So you see that 6x6 tile everywhere, that's original to the building. The bathtubs and showers, like they're in pristine condition, but they're pretty original. We've got the drop ceiling in the kitchen with the Florida ceiling insert there. That's original. What I've seen is all of this ceiling stuff pulled out and everything raised up and pot lights put in. It looks fantastic. It's really, really nice. And what you notice with these are they have big rooms. Like, look at the size. There's so much furniture in these rooms. And also huge balconies. Like the whole front of the unit is a big balcony, same as some of the units on BAFE. So this is a wonderful building filled with older, quiet people who own their units, not a huge number of tenants. There's a social aspect. Once I sponsored a bus trip that was going down to Niagara Falls, so they organize social things, and it's a fantastic location close to Yonge Street, but not directly on Yonge Street. So it's a really, really nice building. I wanted to show you this, and I have so many ideas what you could do with this unit, but the other thing is we have real hardwood in the living room, dining room, and the bedrooms, like not laminate, real hardwood. So I think it has a lot of potential. We just need to do a cosmetic upgrade and make sure that it's looking really up to date. Get rid of the pretty awful melamine cupboards. Okay, so that's 33 Waldrick. Love 33 Waldrick. And now for something completely different. We are into new construction high rise, except this isn't a high rise. This is a condo townhouse. Some of you have no problem with mobility or stairs, and some people have actually asked me to find them townhouses. They're moving from a home to a townhouse. Terrific kind of intermediary step as long as you have no issue with stairs, because this is a condo townhouse on the ground floor of a brand new building. So what's above it? It's regular old condo apartments, you know? This gets all of the amenities of the building, all of the benefits of total maintenance. Everything is being taken care of for you, but you have a townhouse. So you've got your bedrooms upstairs, your living area downstairs. Let's look. Oh, this is so nice. And this is what we see a lot of, like we hear about lofts downtown. This has a kind of downtown lofty feel where the bedroom is lots of times it's actually open to below. This one is not, but it can be that the master bedroom overlooks the living room area and it's open. But we still get all the benefits of these tall windows, tall ceilings, new construction, the very, very typical new construction in terms of it's all stainless steel, quartz countertops, laminate floors, big, huge windows. Like that is what everybody wants right now. Plus we have like full amenities, indoor pool, outdoor pool, a rooftop patio. Very important too. You're allowed barbecues. I could never live in a place where there was no barbecue. And this is a really great idea as your city home, where you can, still make all your doctor's appointments and get your hair done and, all of that. And then maybe part of the year you're down in Florida, or part of the year you're up at the cottage. Like either way, this works really fantastic for people who just want the freedom to be able to travel. They don't have a problem, getting up and down the stairs. That's not the big motivation. They just don't want to have to take care of a house so that they can do more interesting things. You see that the price is pretty hefty. It's $1 million. That's what they're asking. It's not what we pay, but still you're in the 900s somewhere. And I understand that for some people that would be almost a trade, a lateral move, but it's a lifestyle choice where you really want to have that convenience and enjoy that lifestyle and not have any worries. Also, it would be good for a pet owner, wouldn't it? Because rather than having to take Fifi up and down the elevator for their doggy business, you literally can take them outside and it's right out your back door. It's a patio. Let's look at it. It's a terrace. So obviously this unit has been on the market for a while. This is a pet peeve. I wanted to show it to you though. It's kind of funny. This is a terrace that you have access to. You can put your barbecue there, your patio furniture, the whole shebang. But this has been on the market long enough for there to have been snow. I think if you're earning a commission on $1 million condo, you probably can afford to send your photographer back for some more up-to-date pictures. I mean, just me, that's what I do. But there you see we have the open space kitchen with the nice quartz or granite countertop, the backsplash, white cabinets, and then we have this wall of windows, and then we have the stairs leading up. And you see that the master bedroom there has those windows, the direct sunlight from those windows. And there's the master bedroom on the bottom left. I'm pretty sure and it has its own little balcony too. Cute, huh? So you can go out there with your cup of coffee in the morning, or just be able to open up the patio door. To me, it would help with some feelings of, claustrophobia or whatever. So it's a really nice space, and it's something out of the box. I call this one the out of the box because it's not cookie cutter at all. Okay, so this one I have named Bigger is Better. So first of all, it's 1,500 square feet. Holy Moses. And it's 3 bedrooms plus a den. So if you just had to have as much space as possible, if you're coming from a large home and you just cannot see yourself in 1,100 square feet, well, we have another option for you. 1,500 square feet plus a 200 square foot balcony, 2 underground parking spots, 2 lockers. It's the whole shebang. It's everything under $700,000. And what's so cool about these is that with this condo, you get a membership to the Sheridan Parkway Health Club. So you get to have the indoor gym and pool and sauna and everything. So you get a membership included in your maintenance. And you'll see that maintenance includes everything but your hydro. So the two parking spots, believe it or not, bump up your maintenance a bit. The 2 parking spots, the 2 storage lockers are even a little bit more to the maintenance, and the whole overall size of the unit, that's actually not too bad. That's not too bad. Let's look at it. So this is the building. It's nice. It's an older building too. It's like a middle-aged building where they did a nice refresh of the lobby, and that's important to keeping up the property value. And they've just recently dropped the price from $750 down to under $700. So price per square foot is a very, very good option. It's in a little southeast part of Richmond Hill. So it's Leslie and Highway 7. So a little bit further afield in a sense, but that's really, really nice. So if it's important to you to have as much square footage as possible, but still be in this price point, this is a cool option. So you can see what they've done. They've opened up one of the walls of the kitchen. That would have been kind of a closed galley style kitchen, and they've opened it up. I think that's a wise move. It's a very nice kitchen, black granite and glossy white lacquer cabinets. Very, very nice. Ton of storage space, as you can see. We have, I asked Melissa to show the den, because that's what makes it a den. It doesn't have a separate clothes closet, and it doesn't have any exterior windows. So that's the den. Also wanted to show you the balcony. It's a big balcony. It could be an outdoor living space for this time of year for sure. And there is our gym amenities. You get a membership to this gym. And then I also wanted to show you the washroom, just because it looks like it was renovated, but I don't know when. So just to show you the whole package. Okay, so this is a totally different option. It's in an older building in a different part of Richmond Hill, but it's huge. Okay, so if bigger is better for you, then this is what we would steer you toward. Okay, now, why am I including this? I can't remember why I chose this one. I remember now, looking at the address, 9 Chalmers Road, 106. It's a ground floor unit. So people say to me, oh, I'd love to go into a condo, but I just can't. I can't leave my garden. I love my garden, or I'm an outdoor person. So the other one that we had that had the terrace, that was at the condo townhouse. It's not exactly the same. This is actually lawn. But again, we have this bungalow layout with the bedrooms organized down one side and the living room, dining room, and kitchen on the other side. Still, it's a good size, almost 1,200 square feet. And they don't, the maintenance includes everything but hydro. But the listing doesn't tell anything about amenities. I didn't have the time to check other listings in the same building to see exactly what amenities were included. But if you'd rather have lower maintenance fees and not as many amenities, well, this is a good option. But look at this. This is your backyard terrace, and it's open. You have direct access to it from your unit, and it's a great place to have the dog, come for a walk, hang out with family, all of that. So it is a ground floor condo apartment, but not a townhouse, not with the stairs. It's all on one level. And again, people, you need to declutter your pictures, because this is a good size unit, but it doesn't feel like that. It feels just a little crowded and cramped and cluttered. So they've broken some of my rules, but that's okay. We still like them. But you can really see the difference in preparation and presentation. It really does make a big difference. That's actually why today, this morning, from 9 till noon today, I was helping stage a new listing we have in Pickering, and I was working out in the garden with my daughter, and we worked in the basement and got the basement apartment looking nice while the professional stager was doing the upper 2 floors. We were pretending in the basement, but it makes such a difference, because I know this unit is going to take forever to sell, just because there are other options even in this building, and it just doesn't stand up to competition. It looks smaller than it really is. It doesn't engender that peaceful, easy feeling. It's just a lot to look at. So people, unfortunately, have a pretty short attention span. And if they don't see something that grabs them immediately, they will move to the next listing. I think the thing that will help this get sold is that ground floor. Some of my single clients don't like the ground floor. They're worried about security. I think it's probably a non-issue, because they do have security systems and the grounds are monitored. But for those of us who need to be outside every day, this is a great option. Okay, so that was our last condo that I've selected for you. We've seen big, we've seen new, We've seen older, renovated, unrenovated, penthouse, ground floor. So it's a good cross section of what's available. It is just a sample. There are tons of other options. There was a total of 66 condos for sale in Richmond Hill that were 2 or 3 bedroom, bigger than 900 square feet. So there is a lot of variety, but this is a good sample to get you started. And as I mentioned, they tend to be clustered in some of the newer buildings. So out of those 66, a fair number of them were turnover sales from brand new construction, where people purchased them. Maybe their life changed, their original plans didn't come together, or maybe they're just speculating on it and they're going to flip it. But there is not actually a lot for the whole size of Richmond Hill. If you started to eliminate, say, the half a dozen new buildings that dominate the market right now, there's not a huge amount out there, and that's why prices remain strong. So if you're interested in any other market areas, please come and join us. We'd love to have you. Hopefully my computer problems will not be an issue next time, but sign up, come back, look at some of the other communities, and you'll get an idea of the prices. That's an important distinction. And Melissa will be sending you off this presentation so you can have it to refer back to and look at any of the properties that you were perhaps interested in, look at them again a little more closely. We're also continuing our seminar, but in webinar format, which is pretty cool. We're going to be doing our best renovations for return on investment part 1 tomorrow, because normally we would have like a 90-minute seminar at a library or community center. We've divided them into 2 parts now. So if you're wondering what to do ahead of listing your home for sale, what are the things that will make you money, will not make you money? That's a big question. Come and join us tomorrow. It's another hour, and we'll be sending you some resources alongside of that as well. If you have any questions, this is a great time to type them into the chat box. I just want to remind you too that we have a 30-day decluttering challenge that you can sign up for. This is fun. Every day is a little task, some motivation, inspiration, and by the end of the month, you could have lost 30 pounds of ugly clutter. And we've seen that it has an actual impact on the saleability of properties, both in terms of how long it takes to sell and the ultimate price that is achieved. What ends up happening for properties that do not sell is that the agent starts to give feedback, and the clients eventually decide to lower the price. Like we've seen in a couple of these properties that were on the market for ages, they dropped them by 25,000 or 30,000. They literally lost money because of the condition of the property. That's the only thing that I worry about, is your future. And so this is a great step in the right direction. And then if you're interested in to know what your property would sell for, your home that you're in now, that's a really important question to get answered, especially since we saw that woo, it's like a roller coaster. What is your house worth? It might change the budget you have for your condo, right? Makes sense? If you're looking for that difference in what you sell, what you buy, like that could be an important distinction. And I can do this all remotely, give you my market updates. It's very, very important. And then finally, we do have an opportunity to get together socially online. This is our Facebook group. It started at the beginning of COVID. We have more than 100 people now part of our group, which is so encouraging to me. I try to post every day, sometimes several times a day, just things that I find that are interesting. Nothing to do per se with real estate, lots to do with what we're hearing about COVID and recipes we find, or cool ideas, just miscellaneous stuff. So join us. We'd love to have you. And finally, if you've enjoyed our condo tour today or any of our seminars in the past, would you please help us spread the word? We're not doing the newsletters into the communities right now because there just isn't an appetite for receiving papery things right now. So we're doing everything on digitally to remain as conscious of the realities as possible, but we do need your help to spread the word. And we're happy to repay your efforts by putting you in a draw for our barbecue basket. Maybe not exactly as shown. This was something that I think is really cute, but we will make sure that you're happy at the end of the day. Please just, you know, spread the word for us, okay? So I see that there are some questions in the chat box, or maybe some comments. Okay. What can I do to let my approximately 90,000 square foot, 2-bedroom, 2 bathrooms look more appealing and not as small? I'm thinking that might have been a typo, because 90,000, do you mean 900? I don't know what you're talking about. So number one is a monochromatic color scheme. 9,000, okay. So, oh, I see, yes, okay, monochromatic color scheme always looks bigger. Light, bright, minimal clutter, minimal everything. Keep it all as pared down, streamlined as possible. No patterns, no, you know, any of that. It's really something I can help you with to, in terms of, you know, personal consultation. I have some specific ideas, like, and I really like that part. I really like helping people, and it's just a fresh set of eyes. That's a lot of times all it requires, is that we get used to our environment, and the most important thing is that it will sell. Yes, 100%. We've got to make your property market ready so that you don't end up having to take a discount. That's the whole name of the game. So the reason I have scratches up and down my arms pulling weeds from our listing out in Pickering today is so that it has the best possible chance of achieving the highest possible price. So I'm happy to, when you're comfortable, to come and do a personal consultation and just do a walkthrough. And just give you some of my feedback. I love doing that. It's so much fun, and I know it's going to make such a huge difference, and that to me is the best part of it all. Any other questions? Comments? Okay, we are well over time. I apologize. So Melissa, if you could make note just of the question there that Phil had, and I'll make sure that I follow up with some resources. And the rest of us are off to the rest of our day. Thank you for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful afternoon. And oh, you're most welcome. And I'll look forward to any of your questions that you'd like to text or call me with or email. And please remember to invite a friend. Maybe I'll see some of you tomorrow. Okay, thanks so much. Appreciate it.